I am Base from Saving Grace Homeschool, and this will be another math lecture. As you can see, it will be about addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now, you already know these concepts, but this lesson will be about using them in the correct order. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. There's two really weird words there, but you will learn, you will, in no time, you will know what that means. Okay, so the aim of this lesson is that you can correctly use the order of operations to carry out calculations. And the success criteria, how do we know that we completed this lesson successfully? You have to know the order of the operations that you have to calculate them in, and you also have to be able to use the order of operations to work out and check calculations. So this whole lesson is going to be about order of calculations and operations. Okay, so this slide is just to get our brains rolling. So take about a minute or two, and you have to, all the gray blocks are incorrect answers. So let's go to this first block, for example. 1 times 1 gives us 1. 1 times 2 gives us 2. But for example, on this block on the right, the 13 block, we've got 12 times 1, which they say is equal to 13, which is obviously not. It's equal to 12. So just go through this grid and correct all the gray blocks and make them, just correct them. And you can pause the video right now and just do this to get your brain going. And this is really important for all lessons, to just get your mind in the right mindset. And it's quite fun actually as well. Okay, so you can pause the video, and then when you're finished, you can play again and we will continue with the lesson. Okay, so I'm assuming that you did all the gray blocks. That would literally should not take you more than a minute, maybe 2 minutes. And yeah, so let's go on. Okay, so what is Bodmas? This is the abbreviation that we're going to use today. So let's start with the question. What do you think the answer to 45 plus 9 times 5 is? What do you think is the answer for that simple equation or calculation? That's not a super complicated calculation. Now, what do you think the answer to that is? So this little girl says, which part should you calculate first? That is the question, because now we don't know, should we calculate 45 plus 9 first, or should we calculate 9 times 5 first? Or, because do we do it from left to right, or is there a special order to do these calculations? Are some operations more important than others, or not? And the answer is actually yes. Should you start at the left and go towards the right, just like a reading book? Maybe. Or if only there was a way to know for sure. If only. Oh, so we've got some superheroes, and they spell Bodmas. Okay, so don't worry, the Bodmas squad are here to help. So let's meet these guys, and hopefully they'll help us understand what is going on. Follow a simple rule and you won't go wrong. Okay, so I'm Bobby Brackets, this guy says. Okay, so he's clearly representing the B in Bodmas. And the keyword here is brackets. So I'm the first member of the Bodmas squad. And okay, so we're already moving to the second one, which is Olive Orders, which obviously represents the O in Bodmas. And she's the second member of the squad. Some people call her Eva Exponent, okay, or Exponent. Okay, and the exponent of a number says how many times to use the number in a multiplication, such as 2 to the times 3, or something like that, something similar to that. And so for example, as we can see, 15 to the times 2 is 15 times 15. So there's 2 15s in that calculation, and that equals to 225. Okay. The third squad member is Delia Division. Okay, so that's obviously the D in Bodmas. She's the third member, and then we've got Max Multiplication. He's the fourth member. Then we've got Alice, I think that's how you pronounce it, addition. Alice addition. She's the fifth member, and then we've got Sammy subtraction, and I don't like his tongue at all. That's a bit weird, and he's got a tail, I think, as well. I don't know. Maybe these are characters that I'm not familiar with, but he definitely freaks me out. Anyway, he's Sammy subtraction. Okay, so that is the last squad member of the Bodmas superhero squad. This is just to help us remember the order of these letters in this abbreviation. So knowing our rule, what do you think the answer to 45 plus 9 times 5 is now? Okay, so what just happened? So what are these guys, and what does Bodmas mean? Okay, so we've got brackets for B. We've got, what is the O again? It is orders. Then we've got the D is division, the M is multiplication, the A is addition, and the S is subtraction. So that is what they stand for. And that is the order that you are going to do operations in. That's the order of operations. Okay, so 45 plus 9 times 5. So as we can see at the bottom, there is the Bodmas order typed out. So we've got brackets first, then we've got order or exponents, then we've got division and multiplication, and then addition and subtraction. So there aren't any brackets in this equation. There's no brackets. There's no orders, so something to the power of something, and there's no divisions. So we have to start with a multiplication. So we're moving down in the list of letters. We're starting with the B for brackets, and we see that there's no brackets in this calculation, so we can move on to O. There's no order, so we move on to D, which is division. There's no division, so we can move on to M, which is multiplication. So we know that we have to start this equation, solving this equation, by doing the multiplication. That is what the rule tells us. Okay. So we're not going to start with 45 plus 9 from left to right. We're actually going to start with 9 times 5, which equals to 45. And 45 plus 45 gives us 90. Okay. So if you know the order, the calculations really becomes quite easy quite quickly. Okay, so let's try this some more. Let's try to test whether we know the concept, okay, thoroughly. So we've got an equation 145 minus, and then we've got brackets with 27 plus 9 inside of the brackets. Now, okay, which part of the calculation should we complete first? That is the question. Okay, we should start with the brackets, because that is what the B stands for in Bodmas. Okay, so we start with brackets because that is the first thing that we see, and that's the first letter in Bodmas. Okay, so we start by calculating the brackets, which is 27 plus 9, which gives us 36. And then the only thing left is subtraction. So we don't have to worry about any order there. So that the answer would be 109. So let's try another one. We've got 124 divided by 8 plus 4.5. Okay, so we've got no brackets. Wait, which part of the calculation should we complete first? Okay, so we've got no brackets. We've got no order or exponents. We do have a division. We do not have a multiplication, and we've got addition. So division is before addition. In the order that we just learned, in the Bodmas order, a division is before addition, so we will do the division first. We should start with the division. Okay, so 124 divided by 8 gives us 15.5, and then we only have addition left, so we don't have to worry about any order, so we can just add those two to get 20. Okay, let's try another one. So now we see that there is order, there is exponents. We've got 9 to the power of 2. Okay, so 41 plus 9 to the power of 2 divided by 3. We've got no brackets, so that is cancelled out. We do have order though. That is the next step. So we have to calculate the order first. Okay, so which part of the calculation should we complete first? Okay, we should start with the orders. Okay, so that becomes 81. Then we still have two operations. We've got addition, and we've got division. So which one should we do first? Division, because it is before addition in the Bodmas order. Okay, we should continue with the division. So that becomes 27, and then if we add those two, because that is the only thing left, is addition. So we don't have to worry about order. So we get an answer of 68. Okay, so now let's practice this. Now you practice it. I'm going to ask you a question. Which calculation gives the answer 75? So we've got 3 questions, and you should do all 3 of them. And then you should tell me, you can pause the video, and then you have to know which one of these 3 circles, or maybe 2 or all 3 of them, which one of them gives the answer 75. Okay, so you can pause the video, calculate all 3 these calculations, these equations, and if the answer is 75, you know that you've found one of these circles. There may be one or there may be more. Okay, so you can pause the video now, and then I will reveal the answer just now. Okay, so I assume you've completed all 3 questions, and the answer is 12 to the power of 2 minus 69, because 12 to the power of 2 gives us 144, and 144 minus 69 gives us 75, and that was the only one with the answer of 75. So let's try this again with the second example. Which calculations gives us the answer of 252? Okay, so again, try and calculate these 3 circles and decide which one of them gives the answer 252, and then you can test your answer also after you've resumed the video. So I'll reveal the answer in 3, 2, 1. Both of these circles actually gives the answer 252. So I hope you saw that both the circles. So we've got brackets in both circles. So you obviously did the brackets first, and then you've got the powers. The order, the 9 to the power of 2, and the top circle, and the bottom one then only has subtraction left, and the top one only addition. Okay. And we've got another example of this. So you can pause the video again, do all 3, and then I will reveal the answer. Which calculation gives the answer 20? So which circles give the answer 20? Okay, here's the answer. Only the right-hand top side one gives us 20, because you have to do division first. So it's 100 divided by 4, which gives us 25, minus 5 gives us 20. Okay, so we've got a tablet and we've got 4 equations, 4 calculations. You can choose one to practice. So choose any one of them and do them as practice and get the answer. Okay, so you can pause the video and choose any one of them and do them. And then on the next slide, we've got another one of those. You can just choose any one of them and use the Bodmas rule to complete it and make sure you've got this concept. And if you then struggle, you know that you have to go back in this lesson and make sure that you know the order. If you know the order, and you can do basic math such as multiplication and addition and so forth, then you will be fine. Okay, so the aim was to correctly use the order of operations to carry out calculations. And this is how you know we've completed it successfully. If you can tick these off as successful, you know you can move on to the next lesson. And the first one is you have to know the order. So you have to know Bodmas and what it stands for, each letter. And then you also have to be able to use these in actual questions and actual calculations. Okay. Thank you, boys and girls, for listening to me. This was Saving Grace Homeschool, and I will see you again in another lesson.